5W1H is a tool that provides guiding questions when you need to describe a problem or a process. The 5W, what, why, when, who, and where, and the H, how, force you to consider various facets of the situation being analyzed. This tool can be used to describe a problem and define tasks in action plans. For problem description, the answer to this question will give you the basic information which is needed to create a good problem statement. If these questions are answered right, they give you an understanding of the current situation which can be used further in the problem-solving process. For defining tasks, the answers will describe exactly the expectation of the actions needed, and there should not be any room for misinterpretations. 5W1H tool for problem definition. For problem definition, you can use a 2x5 table. In the first column, specify each letter of the 5W1H, and in the second column, describe each element of the 5W1H. What exactly is the problem? Why is this a problem? When was identified the problem? Who identified the problem? Where did he, she, they identify the problem? And how did they identify the problem? One additional suggestion for problem description is to add a picture. Let's see an example. What? Client complained about food order. Why? Because the order is not what she asked for. When? 7th of November 2022, 16 hours. Who? Jane Doe, sales manager. Where? 10 Downing Street, London, England. How? Visual observation. 5W1H tool for task in action plans. For task definition, you can use an A by N table, N referring to the quantity of tasks in the action plan. In the first file, specify the following. Sequence number, you want to have a quick view of the quantity of tasks. Then each letter of the 5W1H in the following order. What, why, when, who, where, and how. Last but not least, a comment. This comment will be a visual indication of the status of the task. Use green for complete, yellow for open or new, and red for delayed or risk. For each task, describe each element of the 5W1H with the following approach. What exactly needs to be done? Why the task needs to be done? When the task needs to be completed? Who will be accountable to close the task? Where the task needs to be made? How the task will be done? When asking these questions, require specific information. For instance, the what needs to begin with a verb. Make sure it is direct and specific. The why should tell exactly the reason why the task is important. The when has to be a date. It can't be next week or next month. The who has to be a name. It can't be a process or a department. Someone has to be accountable to close the task. The where is the location where the task will be made. The how should instruct exactly what needs to be made to meet the expectations. For example, you see an action plan with 3 actions. Number 1, the what? Follow up with marketing the list of patterns that will be phased out by 2025. Why? To reduce the SKUs to be modified. When? 5th of November 2022. Who? John Doe. Where? Head office. How? Contact marketing and discuss the topic. Marketing to come back. Status, red, delayed, to be escalated. No response from marketing. This has been followed up for the last 1.5 months. 2. Identify the SKU with low sales. Why? To assess if they can be phased out next year. When? 12 November 2022. Who? Peter Smith. Where? Regional office. How? Sort SKU with lowest sale in the last 2 years. The status is open. The third task is request information to client which product is on top of demand. Why? To evaluate next development. When? 10th October 2022. Who? Mike White. Where? A&C Holdings, London. How? Asking which product is the highest on demand and asking why. Also request expectation of a product developed by our company. Status, this is completed. product X and Y is on high demand, and they expect our company to provide the same as competitor set. Conclusion. 5W1H is a tool that provides guiding questions when you need to describe a problem or when you are defining an action plan. This tool forces you to consider various facets of the situation being analyzed. Some of the questions might sound obvious by some team members. However, the clearest it is the problem description, the best chances you have to find a solution. Same applies for the action plans. The more detailed are the actions, the less chances for misinterpretations. Did you find this video useful? If so, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching and see you soon.